Hello, guys. So how do I invite her? Hi, Naja. Nice to see you.
It's so good to see you too. I'm so excited for tonight.
Me too, me too. I actually love our conversations, and yeah, it's really great to connect now in Instagram as well.
Yes, and there's so much to talk about, Camilla. Like I know you already know, but like I feel like I've been like going through it early with all these energies that are happening. So I'm happy that we can like give some insight on what's about to go down or what is currently going down.
Okay, I was trying to connect my microphone here.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Go ahead.
let me see. Yeah, I make sure it's a nice sound later for our recording. So nice to see you. I see Abby's here already. And so today we are going to be talking about the new moon in Cancer that's going to happen tomorrow, right, Naja? And the time of the new moon in Cancer is going to be here in Los Angeles at 6:17 p.m. tomorrow. For you, where are you now?
I'm in Virginia. So Virginia Beach on the East Coast.
Sorry, repeat. The microphone didn't work for some reason.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia on the East Coast.
East Coast. So in East Coast, the new moon is going to happen exactly at 9:17 p.m. And in Brazil, for my people there, it's going to be 1 hour later, 10:17 p.m. in Brazil. And actually, we are in the new moon 48 hours before the new moon, the exactly right time, and 48 hours after the exact time is still considered a very powerful new beginning.
Wow. So I have to ask you this because I know there are a lot of people who watch me and they might not know much about astrology, but it really has so much to play with our emotions and like how it will affect us. So can you like explain to us really quickly, like what is the significance of astrology, when it comes to like, I guess, intentionally creating your life? Like, how does that even affect us?
Yes, that's a very good question. And astrology is actually 100% the reality because it's the nature and we are inserts in the cycles of the nature. So if you study deep astrology, you will realize that it's completely tuned to the seasons. So astrology is the seasons. So the astrological year starts on March, for example, around 20th of March, when Aries starts. So the new beginnings, the spring. Capricorn, for example, is the first sign of the winter. So it's completely related to the archetype because in the winter, especially here in the North Hemisphere, so we are dealing like with some lack because now it's winter, so there is no fruits. We have to storage the foods, and Capricorn has to do with this, with the responsibility. So if we study astrology, everything's connected. But the moon is the closest planet. It's not really a planet, but we call in astrology a planet. So it's the closest one, and it really affects us, especially everybody. But as a woman, we are ruled by moon because and that's why our menstrual cycle has exactly the same days duration of the cycle of the moon, one lunation. So it's 28, 29 days. And that's why we have our periods after 28 days. And we women...
Yes, it's so true. Like I never knew this before I got into this stuff, but women, you'll realize your periods will start around like either the new moons or even the full moons, depending on, like
we can note between us, between our friends, female friends. Let me see the question. Do you think our ancestors understood the seasons start? Of course, our ancestors understood. a lot. They are
It's
much more tuned with the nature than us. We are so disconnected because we're living in cities. We completely lost track of the stars. Before, the stars used to guide them for real, what they're gonna plant. When astrology started with the Sumerians, they use astrology even to know should we get into a fight with another tribe in the war. Everything was connected to astrology. As soon we disconnect from the nature, because living in these cities, we disconnected from to feel. Only people that are more in tune with the nature, they can feel more the cycles and understand. Even with the spirituality, so they are more open. But we as women, we are discussing, we are connected with the moon. Moon in astrology is our female energy, is the mother, and our emotional side, so our emotions. So it's very related to female energy, and that's why as a woman we are changeable. We have like those periods, and we got the moods. Yes, and sometimes
we're cyclical creatures, right? Like there's a time for birth, there's a time for things to end. Like we are constantly going through these cycles. We're very connected to the moon.
Yes, and I can't really see the question because it went up, but someone asked about make questions. Yes, be free to make questions. And here we go. You're asking about the nature. And as the moon is connected, and the other planets as well, with the cycles of the nature, so there is the phases of the moon. So depends on the phase, it's a good time, literally for planting seeds. That's a new moon. And metaphysically, for starting our intentions, what we want to manifest, like seeds. It's very correlated, like the seeds. So in around the new moon, there is nothing there. There is no moon in the sky. You can see. It's dark. So it's like we are generating something. It's like it's also these phases related with the pregnancy.
You know, like that dark womb energy.
Yeah.
Like what's being created in the dark.
Exactly. Even like before the new moon, when we have, in English, I always confuse this waxing moon. Waxing when it's getting smaller, right? So especially from the waxing to the new moon is where we have that empty place, that there we can start to create an idea, to start an intention. It's still nothing there. And then after like 3 days of the new moon, it's a kind of having a shape, taking form. And then in the crescent moon, we're really working on that. And it happens in small cycles, like a month, and in the big cycles, because in astrology we have the progressions. So it's an astrological technique that we can see our full cycle of the moon in the life, which takes 28 years.
Wow.
So we have this in a smaller perspective, we have this in a bigger perspective.
Wow. And I love too that you can begin to see your desires that you're trying to manifest. If you follow the phases of the moon, you will go from that invisible, like just being a thought, and you will begin to see it materialize as the moon phases, go on, if you follow that. So yeah.
Exactly. This is actually, Naja, it works exactly like in the material practical way, like agriculture. Someone is gonna plant, we're gonna plant a seed, and you're gonna plant in the wrong moon, you will see that it's not the same. So if we connect it with the nature, it's like winter. Why am I gonna go in my bikinis and try to tan? Like I'm disconnected from the nature. Right. I don't tan in the winter, I tan in the summer. Or what about in the summer? I put all my ski clothes and go to the street. Like it's completely disconnected. So our intentions, we set according to the moon to help it manifest. Like take a ride in the energy, right?
Like there's a season for everything. Like don't try to plant in the winter. Don't try to harvest after you just planted.
The music's playing and it's fun, and then you are disconnect from the music. No, you dance according to the music, and that helps you tune into that energy and manifest what you want. And other than the phases of the moon, we have 12 months. So we have the moon happening in different signs. And according to the sign, and there is a blend, of course, between the month, the sun being that sign, the moon being the sign. So right now we are having the moon in Cancer. And there is a meaning around moon in Cancer. That's, of course, the same meaning every year, but every year the sky around this new moon has changed. We have a very challenging sky in 2020 since the beginning, which caused the pandemic, for example. And actually, some astrologers, they predicted the pandemic way ago. And there is proof that, because in their website that was written in 2011, there was an astrologer called André Barteau, a French guy. He predicted in 2011, we're gonna deal with the pandemic. So of course, some people they dedicated their lives to world astrology. Is not my case. I'm not really connected to that part of the astrology, but it's possible to predict. So every year the sky change, and there is the aspects that more technical terms, but basically the other planets, they are influencing this new moon or this full moon. So this is gonna bring characteristics that we're gonna talk soon.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so tell us, like, what can we expect right now for this new moon in Cancer? Like, what is the energy that we're going to be experiencing?
So I know, Naja, that you like astrology. So tell me what you know about Cancer. So we're gonna teach people how to interpret by themselves. I like to teach people and make people free, you know, to think. So what you think about moon in Cancer?
Okay, well, right off the bat, we know Cancer is the crab, right? So, and I took notes about that as well, but also Cancer ruled by the moon. So it's very heightened emotions because obviously we're pulled by the moon. But also the vibe I was getting, because I'm like constantly receiving some intuitive messages, and I'll share that later, but being the crab has that hard shell exterior, but it's soft on the inside. So it's like the energy of like being very vulnerable and fragile on the inside, but like trying to appear to be hard, right? But that's like the energy is just like very emotions coming out, and you know, like a lot of people getting triggered, a lot of trauma coming forth, and it's not even like, it's just like the planetary, it's just time for that stuff to come out. And we're facing our shadows right now, again, with the moon ruling illusion and stuff like that. So that's kind of the vibe I've been getting, and I've been feeling it. Like my relationships right now, it's like they're going through it, I'm going through it, we're going through it with this Cancer new moon.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Cancer, it's the symbol is a crab, so that this hard surface from the outside, but inside is pure water, emotion, sensitivity. And this it's what we can also see for around the world, like for the whole earth. We are receiving this energy, we're dealing with this energy. So this has to do with nesting, family, home life, comforts, nurturing ourselves, especially our inner child. And it is a month where we can feel more like this emotion sensitivity. And we should, like, of course, take advantage of this month. This is asking us to really connect with our intuition, because this is water, this is fuel our emotions, and of course to balance, because in the negative sign, Cancer is a sign that can be out of balance emotionally. It's water, you see. So it really mixes with other people as well, and then doesn't know what belongs to me, what belongs to you. You know, it's very dependable also of the outside approval, or Cancer is famous to be a little bit needy.
Yes.
Because they want to look for the outside. And actually all of us, we have first to connect with inside, balance ourselves, the self-nurturing. And what it's interesting about this month as well, Cancer is family. So of course there is an attention for our family and our internal family, because we are inside us, our mom and our father. I'm actually dealing a lot of with this subject about family, and it's coming a lot right now in the month of Cancer. And this new moon is doing that now, talking about aspects, is doing an opposition with the planet Pluto. And Pluto, it's a healer, but it's a tough one. So it's kind of poking us. The relationship with the other is poking us to heal ourselves.
Yes.
It doesn't
it's
come
like
to sometimes in
I was gonna say,
doesn't come in a very
literally
soft
feels
way.
like, yes, like it's literally coming up to be addressed. It's like emotional vomit. It's coming up to be addressed. Like you can't ignore it any longer.
Exactly. And I'm having, like, for me, you talk about your experience, how you're feeling, like with this sun, moon in Cancer, it's a Cancer month. I'm feeling a lot of the call to heal my relationship with my family, with my father, with my mother. And I'm seeing this a lot with my clients and in their charts. Like, it's like almost everybody that's coming with me, they have this connection. And right now perhaps they are having the reading because they are feeling that now it's time to deal with that. Let me hear. This, of course, it's just any teacher, any information that reach us is just a tool. We are just channeling that. And this is actually the best month that we can really perform this healing. And that's interesting. I was here with this book that has a Kabbalistic approach of astrology. And I do Western astrology, but I mix with Kabbalah, which is very mystical astrology. Just let me read you one paragraph here. This moon is our antidote and proactive healing process. We should direct our consciousness towards healing through this period. Strive more to ensure that all your actions and deeds embody care and tolerance for others. Maintain your connection to the light to ensure health and well-being in all areas of your life. And with the aspects with the moon is really healing time. And we are dealing also, there is a positive aspect with Uranus. So the Uranus is asking us to, Uranus is a planet of innovation, like a futuristic planet. So he asking us, try to see things in a new way, new perspectives, detach from the old ways, right? To detach from anything that is stuck there, like old, you know, it's hard.
And I also was hearing like the energetic baggage. Like a lot of us have been carrying energetic baggage, and if it's never addressed, it just feels really heavy, and it just comes again, like it's in your face right now. You can't ignore it. You're going to have to address the energetic baggage with your family, your home life. Emotional healing is a big theme right now for this moon too. And again, addressing your security, how you feel secure in your home life, with your family, your friends, and your relationships. So I totally feel that.
You're such a good speaker, honey. I love to hear you. It's not just in case you are a YouTuber, right? For who doesn't know, Naja does a great work with women, right?
Thank you, Camila.
And Naja, actually, we met because you were referred to me as a life coach. Yeah. And you always did such a great job. Actually, you met me in a very dark time of my life.
I remember.
Yeah.
It's like a complete 360 for you though, Camila, because like your life is completely different now. Like you just seem more vibrant. You're doing so much. It's like a complete transformation.
Yeah. Actually, it's, these aspects is that we are having in this new moon, Pluto here doing opposition with the new moon. I have something similar in my chart, so that's a good thing, because sometimes you go through some struggles, but we have the power of healing ourselves, and this is what this lunation is offering us. You know, sometimes we have to go through a struggle. It's not a Pisces month where things comes like, woof, musical,
like, so very fairy.
it's a little bit tough, but there is a great opportunity here for all of us, but not the easiest lunation though. We have this aspect, I don't know if you can see, but there is like it's kind of a red triangle, and this is what we call T square. It's a tension. So this tension in the lunation, it does involve mostly the old with the new. Saturn doing a square with Uranus. We are having this all year long. So 2021 in astrology, this is a year where we are having the old ways to do things, the old ways to think. We have to detach to create a new life, a new way to think, new solutions. But there is attachment, so people are complaining, I didn't want to change, all this pandemic, then I have to force me to change my job, to innovate in my job, and now I'm, you know, doing my work online, Uranus, online innovation, and there is resistance, and so it's this pull, you know?
It's like the crab in the shell, like the crab is outgrowing its shell, and it feels super uncomfortable where it currently is at, and the universe is like, okay, we'll move, like find a bigger space, right? Or find somewhere new that feels more comfortable. But the crab is like, no, but this is my home, no, but this feels safe, no, but this is comfortable, this is my security, and we hold on so tightly. But that is where when we begin to suffer, because we're not willing to upgrade, like that how Uranus, how you said it wants you to upgrade, new technology, new way of doing things, new way of seeing things. So it's like, if you don't get on board with the new changes, you're going to suffer holding on to that small shell that does not serve you.
Yeah, actually Uranus it meant to win this fight. Uranus is meant to win this fight. Just there is resistance. It's not happening like in a comfortable way. Some people, that it depends on their natal chart, they're gonna to deal easy with these energies. But what this aspect asks us is a lot of adaptability. We have to be flexible with flexibility. Saturn is not flexible. Uranus is trying to poke Saturn like, let's do some yoga, guy. You're getting too hard. Yeah, it's asking us to be flexible, to be patient, to stretch ourselves, you know, to keep advancing, to open our minds, Uranus, open our minds. And it's touching the new moon in Cancer, so perhaps dealing with the relationship with our family or our close environment or your close friends, anything that's familiar. It's not only the family, but our familiar circle of friends, situations. This is the time to connect with those situations, but in a new way to see things, a new perspective. And Naja, we have some interesting aspect as well. This is all about predictions, astrology forecasts. And I even did a post about that. We have these two important planets, and they are parts of this T square that I was talking about. So that's why I'm bringing them up, and they're very important. Because they deal with, this is a conjunction here, Venus and Mars. Actually, it's not, no, it's going to be in conjunction tomorrow. Venus, money, and relationships. So we are now seeing how it's about finances in our romantic life. In general, you know, in the world, what's the energy that's set there. And these two planets, they are in Leo. Which is very interesting because it has a drive for money, for getting the money back. People that they didn't do so well, or people that they actually did well. There is drive, that there is determination, there is passion. In this Venus together, Venus and Mars in conjunction, it means Mars action for what we love, what we want. So this can actually, this can bring new relationships to some people, depends on the natal chart. Where is this conjunction in natal chart is, in their natal charts. Many people will start a new relationship, or people that are in a relationship can set the fire back to the relationship. But at the same time, this is a square in Uranus, so that's also can bring some instability. So in relationships, which mean there is passion and romance, right? Mars and Venus. But also there is a need of freedom. If that freedom is not being respected, then it, in my understanding, it could generate some conflict.
That is a message that I also received, and it was when we're focusing on the healing, a huge issue that's been coming up is codependency. People who struggle with codependency in their romantic relationships and even in their friendships. And that's something that's coming to the light, like your abandonment issues, your abandonment traumas, that kind of started in your childhood. So your childhood conditioning that is starting to play out in your relationships. And so those people who are asking for more freedom, who have been holding on tight in their relationships, you're going to see a lot of conflict, like you're holding on to me too tight, you're too codependent on my energy, if that makes sense, or just feeling the need to, you know, that Leo energy wanting to be independent and, you know, do your own thing, show yourself.
Leo.
Yeah. Are you Leo rising?
I'm Aries. I'm Aries.
Aries. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking the right language. That's Leo. Like, I want to be myself. Yeah. And there is this. It's not only about relationships, because some people get excited how everybody in the world is gonna have this opportunity right now. But Venus is everything that we like, that we enjoy, that we are passionate about. And especially the Mars together. So this could be, for example, I am in love with my work. Yes. Astrology is a passion for me. Mm-hmm. And with the energy of Leo, I really can put that out there. Mm-hmm. You know, so this is an invitation for us also to go and seek for whatever bring us pleasure. It could be our friends, our work, our passions, our hobbies, and for some people also it has a lot to do with the romantic life. Mm. Yeah. But we can direct that energy for whatever we like.
Right. So, okay, so I see what you're saying. So it's not just like romantically, it's also like on a personal level, like it will be amplified and show to you what you love pertaining to like your work and what you love to do, the things you like to experience. You might have more pleasure for just like the things that you do in general.
Yes. These are fun times. And I mean, the pandemic now, the quarantine, lockdown, these things are over in many places and people are getting back there again. And the Sun in Moon Cancer, New Moon in Cancer, it has to do with introspection too. So we have like these two energies playing. The way I like to tune it, like, and I'm actually doing in my life, I'm having a lot of fun, but with the people that are very like close friends and family, even far away. But I'm more in touch with my family. I'm trying to always share like this happiness that I'm having like right now in my life with them, so we can kind of blend these energies together. What else we have? This, let me see my notes.
Yes.
Finances, as Venus represents money as well, and is doing aspect of Uranus and with Saturn. So there is here a need for finance security as Saturn, but this is not going to be, doesn't mean to be reached right now because there is Uranus on the game. So Uranus is bringing stability. And this year we have Uranus in Taurus. Taurus also has to do with our finances and all the role. We are kind of dealing with this uncertainty because after this pandemic, things were shaken, and right now all that we can do about, of course, is being patient. I wouldn't tell this is a time for overspending, just the opposite. Just try to hold a little bit more. Even, of course, Venus in Mars in Leo, we're gonna want to spend more money.
Right. It's like a way of coping to try and make yourself feel more secure. For some people, it's like, if I spend more, I'll feel more secure. But it's like, wait, hold on to your resources, because it's being juggled right now. Your resources and what you have.
Yeah, it has been exactly like you said. These all these aspects this has to do with this T-square. This is all about this dynamic. It's inside the dynamic of still dealing with the old ways, the new ways, squaring the finances and generating this instability. For now, as I said, this is not the easiest lunation, but this kind of cycles, this is exactly where we grow a lot. There is a lot of growth, potential for growth in these cycles. And financial volatility, radical changes in finances for all of us, like Taurus, Uranus in Taurus all year long, bringing a lot of change. So it could be
too with the Bitcoin or just cryptocurrency in general. You can see that on the world stage, how we're like, well, do we want to use money? Do we want to use crypto? Do we like what's happening to the money? Lots of uncertainty and revolutionizing with the currency.
Yes, that's it. And this is like astrologers, they are more they work more with this roles, astrology, politics. There is even an astrologer there are expertise in stock market. They completely
I believe it. You can read the chart and you're like, okay, this is gonna do well. Put your money in this.
Sure. Especially for those who in their natal chart they have this predisposition to they have a strong house 8 or house 2, so they meant to perhaps work with the money of other people. They meant to be good investors and benefit from those situations. So it's very interesting for them. But right now it shows some finance volatility, radical change. Sometimes it can even be positive. I would tell, like, for all of us, like Uranus, innovation, new ways to make money, that it's a call. Detach from the old ways, asking for two. It's a time where the world wants to see positive change.
Yes, and it's like pulling away from the old systems and the old ways of doing it, and like finding new ways that better suit us to make our money and our resources and things. I feel that,
Yeah. And again, this Pluto doing aspect opposition with the new moon. So healing, transformation, sometimes through the interaction of other person, someone, a relationship, or even the pressure for sun, dealing with sun authority, Pluto. So all kind of situations in one or another way is going to poke us to deal with this healing. And I think this healing has to do with the Cancer for sure. And this is a call for us to deal with that. This is time.
And something else that you reminded me of when you were talking about like relationship and emotional healing, something that came to me was ending relationships and addressing loneliness is a big topic. Like when we depend too much on other people to fill holes that we have within ourselves. So that's something that's kind of being highlighted again, that codependency, or how we feel whole you know, how do you make yourself feel secure, or do you rely on other people to feel secure? So it's like loneliness is really being highlighted, and a lot of relationships are ending, not just romantic, but like friendships can be ending if they're like not in balance right now. Like some things are just, a lot of relationships that are no longer serving you, you'll see they're starting to go through the cycle of, is this longevity? Are we going to be, you know, doing this forever? Is this sustainable? Do we want this? Do we
Detoxing,
not
right?
want
It's
this?
the detoxing phase. It has to do with the Pluto oppositing the lunation, the new moon, detoxing. And Nadia, about your rituals, that's what I want to know. I know you
Yes,
are a ritual woman.
yes.
So tell me, what do you do to set your intentions, to ground
Okay.
yourself?
Well, I got some notes, but I'm gonna tell you also. So I did a reading for us about this new moon, that will kind of get us in the mindset about these rituals that I wrote down. But the reading that I got, and I got these cards here just so you can visually see, but I'll tell you what it means to me. It
Okay.
says, take your time. Stop being in a rush to get somewhere. Focus on your relationships, the longevity of them. Can you see yourself growing with the current relationships in your life? And are you preparing for your future, your security? And then with, we had the Justice and the
Venus,
Three.
Venus.
Is that
Are
the
you
Venus
prepared for your future, for your
Venusian?
security? Venus in Taurus?
Yes. Okay. See, it all makes, it's all
Yeah,
coming
it's all
together.
correlated.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then with the Justice and Three of Swords, what I heard was setting your life back in balance. Okay, let that shit die. Excuse my French, but our guides are saying that baggages that we're holding on to, like grudges, put it to rest. It's over. Stop picking at the wound and let it heal. Forgiveness for yourself. Okay, you're only hurting yourself when you refuse to when you refuse to heal. You're only slowing yourself down. So that was the intuitive message that I got.
By the way,
So
completely tune it with the new moon aspects,
wow, see
right?
how spirit works,
Healing
how
time.
source works.
It's amazing.
Wow. Okay, well, so for rituals, I have a few that I wrote down. Obviously, you don't have to do everything, but so the first thing I said was journaling, because Camila
Of
was
course.
talking a lot about introspection, looking within, going within. Now is the time to like seek within what's out of balance within yourself. So obviously, every full moon and new moon is a really great time for journaling, but for this one in particular, we want to write out about our emotional traumas, the things that are coming up for us right now, or baggages that you've been holding on to, because we're being asked to release it at this time. There's no way you can move into the next chapter holding on to the baggages, the pain, and the hurt of the past. So that is
Amen.
so it's like a period of shedding. It's that crab leaving the old shell to find a new shell that better suits it. Like, yeah, you're going to be naked, you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to be like, don't look at me, don't see me right now. But it is a journey to a place that better suits you. So releasing, you're going to be journaling about your past traumas or any baggages that you're still holding on to. And the guidance that I received was to burn it. And the reason why we're going to burn it is to release. Now, typically we do burning rituals on like fire moons and things like that, but this one is a water moon. But again, it's to eradicate these energies, to put them to rest. So that is the first ritual, to emotionally release is the first thing.
And if Naja, just let me compliment
Yeah,
this.
go ahead, girl, hop on
If we pay attention, since we are talking a lot of this vulnerability in our relationships, this all has to do with our relationship with father and mother.
Yes.
Our relationship with father and mother, cancer, our history, our ancestors. This come from our lineage, from our like system. There is a system that connects our behavior, our patterns with our ancestors. And it has been, that's why I'm having this call. Like I have it in me, it's been over the top. It's been strong, like the calling to heal myself, like in my family patterns. And what I realized, like in my process, because I didn't have like a very easy process with my parents, both of them. And I've been working on this, like I always been working, like I mean in past like few years, but very strongly now. And for example, this morning I set an alarm because I spent so long time away from my parents because all the situations involved in the childhood, my father, and later with my mother. And now as we are rescuing that, and then I thought, okay, I lost so much time in unbalance with them, and now I'm lucky they are alive, so I'm not losing any time. I put an alarm to call my mom and to call my daddy every day.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's like healing the relationships of the family life, like rebuilding it, or the holes, filling in the holes or the gaps that might have been present.
So before, you know, of course, one day they will go, and I decided I don't want to see them go without having face my responsibility and being proactive and healing this relationship. Wow. So let's have a relationship so we can be exposed and we can deal with whatever comes. It comes arguments, it comes uncomfortable, it comes love. Let's deal with all of that.
And in you doing that, you are healing generational curses from the past of your family. If there ever was like, oh, I'm never going to talk to my dad again, I'm never going to talk to my son again. If there was ever that in the lineage, it's like it ends with you. You're healing that.
Amen again. Amen. That's the all goal here. And actually, I put that because I kind of journal. I journal like every day. Yes. I have many journals, you know, like
girl,
crazy.
We need to put our journals together one day. Yeah. I'm just like you. I love to journal.
And one of the things that, by the way, was intuitive, I will do again now in the exactly time of the new moon, but I was already bringing this energy, and I put like, what is my priority? What's essential for me right now? It's the moon of Cancer. And before we are already in the sun in Cancer, it's deal with this healing process in a proactive way. And yes, I am, that's my goal. Yeah. So funny because when I start to do my rituals, my goal were I want to do this course. I want to save money. I want to lose weight. And now like my goal is that's what I most want in my life, to heal this relationship in my family for the sake of my soul and the other souls coming in the past generations. So I think that for me has everything to do with the Cancer energy right now.
And it's crazy that we don't know that we want that until that energy like from the Cancer, you know, moves forward, and you're like, oh yeah, that is a priority to me. Okay, let me put the rest of the stuff to the side and focus on family.
You know what, Naja? All the rest comes on top of that. We
like
are
the family's foundation.
Yeah, family is the foundation. That's why in natal charts we see family. This is joint chart. Let me take another chart. In natal charts, we see family here in the Taoist part in the chart, in the cusp of house 4, and this is what roots, foundation. And that's why when we don't have a good foundation, how can you build a building, a strong house on top? There is no foundation. And then we live the life, and then we keep like struggling financially, in relationships, career-wise, my English. And we will not going anywhere while we don't go back there to fix the foundation.
Right. Everything starts there. the way you
Yeah.
think, the things you believe, how you strive for things, how you act in your relationships. It all starts at the bottom, the base, the foundation.
Well, you see what they said, I want to heal, but also cut them out. I know how you feel. I cut them out in the past. And like one of my teachers, what she says, um, she's also like, she used a lot of systemic healing. When we cut people from our lives, especially our ancestors and people that they are belongs to our system, like I cut that ankle, so I cut a finger. It's a part of me. They're a part of me. So I cut my mom. I cut my arm. I cut my father. I cut my leg. I cut parts of me. That's gonna make me strong or weaker. You are walking, leaving things that really belongs to you behind.
And it's like
So,
you don't always have to cut it off. Sometimes it's just finding the boundaries, right? Because it's like your mom might not always be in the right, or your dad might not be always in the right, or you might not always be in the right. But it's learning how to come to a common ground with these people who are you. We are reflections of each other. So if you have a problem with your mom, you have a problem with yourself. That's an unhealed trauma within yourself. So yeah.
yes,
Oh
yes.
my gosh, yes.
And the thing is like something I want to share about this is not outside. Sometimes this is all inside. This process, even because some people ask me like, but my father passed away, my mom passed away, unfortunately, but it's all inside. This healing is inside. So the relationship we have within inside us. Of course, if you can also do this outside, and it's not with their person, like as a woman or as a man, their decisions or their personality is with that part within them that's the mother and the father that sometimes doesn't correspond with their attitudes. This is mostly about who gave you the life and honoring the fact that someone, because two people met and had sex, that's why you're here. If those exactly two people haven't met, then if your mom had met another father, another guy, would not be you, would be someone else.
Completely different.
Different, yeah. So it's connected to, it's a long, wow, we get into this deep cancer talking. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna share the next ritual I got. So again, because we are dealing with so much emotion right now, the next thing that we're being called to do is ground, right? Because the water makes you want to go here and here and here, right? You're just diving everywhere. So source is like, I need you guys to ground, because with all this water energy, it can be very chaotic, right? Because water is feminine rules that chaotic energy. So they're saying, like, if you can, try to ground near bodies of water. Like if you're near ocean, if you can put your feet in the sand. If not, you can go to lakes. Also, just being in nature outdoors with your bare feet on the ground. If you're somebody who's been highly sensitive or feeling a lot of emotions right now, being out in nature, grounding with your feet on the ground is going to help you to restabilize, because the earth emits natural healing frequencies. So when we feel out of balance and we go back to nature, that is how we heal ourselves. So that is a big thing. If you've been doing your shadow work, dealing with, your family issues, your own personal issues and traumas, in the midst of that, make time to go back in nature to reset yourself, to put yourself back in balance. Because if not, it's a lot of chaotic energy. You have to be grounded.
And you're so right. I was pulling the charts. It was in another computer that I use, and I see here the elements. So do you see how little earth, this green one is the earth, and how a lot of water, this blue, dark blue is water. So we have a lot of water. We have some good fire elements in this chart, air, but not much earth. So you are so right. We need to ground ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to be lost and
everywhere
in the sea of the emotions.
Exactly. And then,
Feeling.
yes, just too intense.
I
And
feel
then,
so much Cancer dramatic.
yes, so much drama. But then the next part of that too, with to make yourself feel more grounded, the next message is cleaning your space. Because if you have a lot of mess or clutter around you, that is the physical manifestation of how you feel on the inside. So you'll notice that people with really messy homes, or people who don't, clean up their space, that's how they feel on the inside mentally. It's very chaotic, it's very messy. So if you're trying to, again, work with this energy, and again, it's a new moon, so it's great to clean anywhere on a new moon, but clean your space, because when you look around and it looks clean, you will have a sense of calmness within yourself. So
And it's Cancer, right? Cancer is directing our energies towards our family, our home. Cancer is our crab, is our
yes,
shelter. So
yes.
yeah, good insight. I haven't thought about this, girl.
Oh
Doing a
yes,
good
I
job, huh?
haven't. Girl, that one just like all of these kind of just were downloads, but okay, so I'm almost done. I have, I think, two more. And it's so spiritual baths, again with that water element. So spiritual baths are really significant for recharging and cleansing your auric field, because again, as we're doing all this cleansing and purging, a lot of things are coming up to the surface that you might not want to continue to hold on to. So essentially, a spiritual bath, have a bath, set your intention over the water, like place your hands over the water and speak your intention over the water. What is it that you're trying to call in and bring in, or what is it that you're trying to
I never done
wash away?
this. I never done my intentions on that water. This is a new thing. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do.
well, water holds memory, so you can
Yeah, yeah.
charge the
Cancer is
water.
memory. Cancer has the cancers. They have
Mhm.
very good memory.
Wow.
Don't
So
step in their
yeah,
feet. They're gonna remember 4 years later.
yes, they can hold on to grudges. So again,
Yeah.
that's why the cleansing is so important. And I heard pink Himalayan sea salt, putting that in your bath, because that's a real, like, salts in general, salt, sea salt, pink Himalayan sea salt is good for cleansing your energetic aura, your auric field. So and then also some herbs that I was given was like eucalyptus, for calming, healing, aloe, because again, healing and its water, lemon for cleansing and purifying, healing, protection, energy. So these are elements you can use in your bath
And
to
let me
amplify.
tell you something very interesting, Naja. Very
Tell
interesting.
me.
Okay. Water. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, all water. You know which water Cancer represents?
Which
The
one?
water of the womb. The waters of the
Mm.
womb. That's the comfy water. And that's why for Cancer people, because they are connected to the home, like a Cancerian person always has, like when they go out, they have to go back to home. Hey, let me
Yep.
go back to take this. They actually they need the home. So they can go like, okay, I can go like from the grocery, from the like office to the grocery. I'm going to step by the house,
Stop home.
talk,
You always have
and
to go back home.
yeah, and something that's really helpful for them, especially if they have moon in Cancer,
Mm.
it's this water from the womb. Imagine it's like body temperature. So exactly the bathtub, the
Yes.
jacuzzi,
So you feel warm, comfy, like
warm.
you're back in that womb safe place.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the call for Cancer. It's not the cold, the crazy water. It's warm,
They crave comfort. They want to feel comfortable.
comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and nurtured.
Yes. So I did have some, because we were talking about journaling, I did write down some journal prompts. So if you guys have like a pen and paper and you want to just write this down and answer these questions for yourself, the first question is, what makes you feel safe within yourself? The next question, do you trust yourself? The next question, what am I releasing? The next question, where are you going to war within yourself? And then the last question, how do you self-sabotage? So these are really great prompts. I guess if we saved the live, if you didn't catch them all right then, you know, just watch the replay so that you can have that. But because right now, again, it's really great for self-reflection and introspection. So these are big questions that we're asking ourselves right now. And then the very last ritual that I have for us is setting intentions, which of course is great for every
new moon.
moon.
That's a
Right.
time.
Yes. And the question I said was, what do you need to change and what are you calling in? And my rule of thumb is I typically try not to set more than 3 intentions per cycle. So yeah, pick 3 intentions that are coming up for you right now. It could be pertaining to your security, your stability, your home life, could be pertaining to your friendships, your relationships, could be pertaining to how you feel safe, secure, your routines. But yeah, set 3 new intentions and see how they come to a head by the full moon. Check in and see what's going on with those intentions on the full moon. It's not going to be the end on the full moon, but you should be able to see things cultivating pertaining to those intentions.
Actually, the full moon is the middle of the cycle. So the full cycle, it's from the new moon to the full moon. So new moon, guys, we set the intentions. So we plant seeds. Is where we are starting to have like, what do I want to develop in the next cycle of 29 days? And then in the crescent moon, we are working on that, manifesting that already. That's why it's not easy, the easiest moon, because we're dealing with a lot, even with the energy that comes against what we want to manifest. Sometimes I have if you said that you want to do a diet, improve your diet, then you're gonna have the temptations. Yes, exactly. So I have to stick to the plan. And then in the full moon, actually, with the full moon, the moon, it's bright, so it's illuminating what needs to be seen. So it's a time for visibility, but it's a time for clarity. So we have we can see what it's time to let go. Like we want to detach, maybe this no longer serves to me, and what it meant to remain, to stay.
Yes. And I love that you said that about whenever you set a new intention, you're going to be tempted. Like the temptation, like if your intention was, I'm not going to blow up on people anymore. People are going to be testing your energy because this is source or universe being like, okay, you said you wanted this. It's like, how do you build muscles without resistance? You must be tested. So whatever you're saying your intention is, understand that once you say, this is what I want, be prepared for it to start testing you in that way. Like if you're saying, I want more money, be prepared to be tested in your finances, because again, resistance builds muscle. So a lot of times we'll be like, oh my God, it's just getting harder and harder ever since I set this intention. This is you building that muscle, that resistance. So come the end of the cycle, you can say, I've done the work and I have gotten it. So yeah.
That's it, girl. Oh my God. What else?
Those were the five rituals. So that was setting intentions.
I love it, Naja. I love all the information. Thank you. You told me something new today. You told me something new. Yeah, definitely I'm gonna be busting the water, putting my intentions in the water.
Yes, you can even do that too when you're just drinking water. Like if you've ever been sick and you put your hand over your water and you say, I am healed, and you drink the water, like you can charge your water for everything. Your water is alive. Water is memory.
Yeah.
Water has been here
water
since
is
the
memory.
of time. It's just getting recycled. The water that we have now is the water that's always been here.
Yes, our ancestors have. So, yeah, it's the same water.
Yes. So you can program it. You can charge it. It's living. It can help.
Reiki vibes, girl. Reiki vibes.
Yes. Yes, Reiki vibes. Charge that water.
I love
the water. It's a tool.
And guys, to do like a new moon ritual, actually it's very simple. Like from my side, what I do, like I do have my spot here, my little altar, and it's just a sacred space that I did for myself. But if you don't have an altar, wherever you feel comfortable at your own home or in the nature or in the park. Some people go to the park. Sometimes I go to the park too, and I sit under a tree, and especially in the full moon, can I see the moon is beautiful. And there I do my rituals. Is basically you focus and you make your connection, and I bring my journal and I write down, and I connected truly in my heart with those intentions. And of course, sometimes what we want is not exactly what we need. We really have to develop that awareness, like, am I wanting the right things for myself?
Exactly.
And you also are open to universe perform the change that it needs to put you in the right direction. Because sometimes you want things from the ego, or you want, many times I wanted silly things. Nowadays I check my journals from the past, like my intentions, say, what?
Yes. And that's the thing too, like we're co-creating with source, we're co-creating with the universe. So just because we say we want it, again, it might not be in your best interest or the best interest of all. Maybe it is in your best interest, but right now is not the time to have it. So it's a co-collaboration. We can't just say, I want this, I want it now, I gotta have it now, because it's like you could want it and it could be to your detriment. So it's a co-collaboration, and as long as you know that, you can always be in flow.
And what Kabbalah teaches, this is a Kabbalistic secret. And actually,
Yes.
one of my Kabbalah teachers, I saw he was in the live. I'm not sure if he's still here, but this is some Kabbalistic secrets. And actually, Kabbalah says that we must desire. Desire is what drives, what determines the life. So everything that we create comes from a place that we first desire. There is a desire. And because there was a desire, there is action towards that, towards the manifestation and the concretization of that desire. But we need to desire. Some people that low desire, weak desire, they're not gonna get much. We're gonna get as much we desire. But at the same time, we also, there is two things that Kabbalah says. The right thing we desire for this, not for the self alone, but for the sake of sharing. So this is the way that we create the flow. Because as much I get from myself, if I'm sharing, so I can get more, because then there is a flow. So as much I want, and I'm not holding on that, I'm giving. So then there is an exchange with the universe. And from the moment that I desire, but I have neediness on my desire. So I desire with neediness. I want that. I want the relationship. I want that deal. I want the business. And then now I put the energy of neediness. So it means comes from a place of lack, not from a place of abundance. And that's why at the same time I need to desire, I have to desire to get things. At the same time, I have to detach. I just say, God or universe, whatever you like to call, I desire this career, I desire this relationship, I desire this money, but at the same time, I trust that this is, if it's meant to be mine, it's going to be mine. If this is not the best for me, I detach at the same time. So it's seems like complicated, but the people, they get a little bit lost when they do the intentions about this subject, because they I want to get, so I want to get a new car, that specific car, that's amazing, but first, why do you want that car? It's coming from a place of sharing as well, how this is aligned with your purpose here. And do you need the car for any, like for your happiness, for your self-affirmation, or it's okay, you trust if you don't have that, you are already fulfilled, you don't need that to fulfill yourself.
That's beautiful that you say that, because something I always say is our desires are divine. That is God consciousness trying to create through us as us. So I love that you're saying like we need the desires because this is how we move forward. But then
Mhm.
also when we desire something that's not only in our best interest, but is in the best interest of all, that's when God is really like, okay, you can have that because I see that it's going to benefit the collective. So when we desire out of that space, that's when we really get what we want. And also when we desire something, and this is like more about manifestation, but when we desire something, we must have it to be in alignment with it, and then we can attract it, because we can't attract what we are not. We can't attract from lack. We can't attract from what's missing. So like when we're like, I desire a new home, I want a new place to live. Well, are you grateful and do you feel fulfilled in the home that you already have? Because when there is
Yeah.
no lack, that is how you attract. It's like, I have that, so I am that, therefore I'm experiencing that already.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Naja, I think
Are we
we
running
are
for
about
time?
to, yeah, it has been 1 hour, so we're gonna be disconnected anytime. So I just want to
Okay.
thank you so much. I love
Yeah.
to talk to you. Thank you so much for bringing the wisdom. I know you are a manifester expertise, and you're bringing your light, and you have this light. I was even talking to Abby last night, and we're speaking about you, like how full of light you are. So thank you for sharing. I love the experience, and for sure I want to do this more times with you.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? We're going to do this again, of course. And you taught me
Okay.
so much too
And
with
happy new
astrology.
morning, Cancer. Make the
Yes.
best
Good
of it. Good
energy.
vibes, girl.
Yes. Good
Love you.
energy. Bye, you guys.
Thank
Bye,
you, guys.
Camila.
Thank you,
Love
everybody
you.
that's checking here. We love this. Thank you for the supporting. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please feel free to ask us, to send
Yes.
us a DM asking me or Naja.
Yes.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.